I know I would butcher the intro if I decided to do this, but I saw the electric entertainment thing, and I was going to say electric entertainment now, electric entertainment tomorrow, and electric entertainment forever, but no one would have gotten the Hunger Games clue in. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trekking Across the Universe. I'm Roger. It is September 8th, 2024, otherwise known in the United States as Star Trek Day. So it's a
Woo!
beautiful day. I want to welcome my co-host. You know who I am. Marsha, how are you?
Hi, that's right. I'm doing great. That's right. It's a big day. We've got Star Trek Day. We've got the beginning of NFL football. We've got baseball that's still going on. But even bigger than that, we have a new art guest. Hi.
Yes, yes, indeed. Michael, how are you? And we will
Huh?
begin to our guest in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm doing great today. It's a nice, cool, quiet day.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hi, Jag.
Hola.
Go ahead. Come on, let's hear it.
It's 80 degrees in Texas, and I'm happy to introduce Vas Batricevic. And he is Bojan. I'm sorry. But I'll call him Vas. He is Vas. And if you all remember from the episode Museum of Death, he is Bojan, Eva's brother. And we are welcoming you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you calling me to be a part of the show.
Great.
Oh,
Great.
no, we are thrilled that you answered.
Yeah. Before we go on, I want to give a little sympathy to you. So can you raise up one of your hands? There you go.
What did you do?
Before we go on, just want to let everybody know that was the damage he suffered from being hit after the debris of Arc 1.
But I survived.
But he survived.
Exactly. Plot twist. Yeah.
But so let me ask you, first of all, I'm actually excited because in my research, I found out that you are kind of a Texan.
Yes, sir.
So go Texas. So give us a little bit of just a quick overview of how you became involved with acting and how you ended up being on the Ark.
Well, I got involved with acting, I don't want to say by accident, because I truly, that was truly something that I really, really had a passion for ever since I was a child. But I never really got a chance to enter any acting school here in Montenegro, where I'm originally from. Only later in high school did I get a chance to kind of get into like an acting club and stuff like that. But I played a lot of sports. Like sports is much bigger here for men. I mean, I hate it. I have to categorize that like that. But like, I didn't really have any family nor friends who were in the arts. I had uncles who played professional soccer. I had all of my best friends played soccer, so I played soccer for many years. And once I hurt my knee, I remember really thinking like, what is it? What is another thing that I'm passionate about? What is it? Something that I could see myself doing? And I knew I can't be a person for 9 to 5 job, like an office job, because my mom did that job, and I just didn't want to enter that world. And I was like, well, I love going to the theater. I love going to the cinema. I love TV shows. I love movies. And I had a chance to travel to Texas as a foreign exchange student in high school. And I could choose to, enroll in an acting class while in high school. And that's where I started. It's pretty much of a cliche, you're in a high school, everything is so strict, especially in Texas, where you can't even have beard or things like that. It's very stern. And then you enter an acting class where it's craziness and freedom, and it's like, wow, this is allowed, this is a class. And I kind of fell in love with that, and my love for that started, and I carried it on in college, and then later in an acting conservatory in LA.
Excellent. So how did you find out about the role on the Ark, and how did that go? How did you audition and all that?
I received an audition. I believe, like, I think it was like a year and a half ago, something like that. Like last summer, beginning of last summer. I just finished a project, a Serbian project called 12 Words. I mean, the translation, it's called 12 reči. And I remember I was on a set that day. I don't remember, was it my last day, but like at the end of the production, and I received an audition, and it was like, oh wow, nice. You know, you don't really get a lot of Hollywood auditions in Serbia.
Right.
It was like, wow, it already was a kind of big deal for me. And I remember asking my friend, my colleague, Alexandra from 12 Words to kind of go home with me and help me with the tape and film the tape. And of course, after filming the tape, I hated it as always. I was like, but I had a deadline and I sent it and I kind of forgot about it. And in a week, I think I heard, "Hey, you got the part," and I was like, I was shocked, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I never worked on a production this, I don't want to say serious, but this big, you know, Hollywood production.
Right.
It's really another level. You know?
Right. Well, that's great. And I have more stuff to ask, but I'm going to take it back to Roger so we can go on to the rest of our.
As a matter of fact, I want to welcome everyone, everyone in the chat room. Thank you for your comments. We're going to be getting to you in just a moment. We already have likes from Elizabeth Olivia Cooper, Frank Madrid, and Sonia Robles. Frank, by the way, is coming in from Sinaloa, Mexico. So we not only were you are, we are clearly international. And I believe he may have greeted you. Did he? Was that correct? Dobro?
Dobro, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So English, Spanish, and Serbian.
Yeah.
I hope I got that one. So welcome, Frank. Thank you for that. And as I mentioned, folks, head on over to ndbmedia.net. Then you can check out what's going on the calendar. Don't forget, like, subscribe. So I'm going to be interrupting each host with the comments and little stuff like that. And that's how we're going to be moving on. I want to go to the first one. Arc54 asks, good evening from the Arcaholics, and we'll clarify that in a moment. I must ask, what made you decide to choose acting as a career, which you may have answered that. Yes, the roles you've done seem to always include the human psyche and emotions going on in the world today. Maybe you can comment on the second part of that question.
Yeah, and I would love to comment on the first part as well. I really, as I mentioned before, really had always felt like I belong in that world. Like even when I played sports, I remember being mesmerized, you know, going to the cinema or going to the theater, being in awe that, you know, what actors can do. And I really didn't know that can be a career until I was like a teenager. I thought that just magically, I don't know, happens. and it really, acting gives you this freedom to express yourself in a way that I don't think you can, not you can, but like in a way that's very different than real life. It gives you it gives you heightened stakes and situations, like life and death situations that, you know, every time you go to work, it's like you're exploring something that maybe in your ordinary life you don't have a chance to, and it's really, it allows you to get everything you want to get out of yourself on stage, and it's forgiven. You know, you're playing, you're being somebody else, and I think that's really an incredible profession, and it really deals with a lot of empathy and with, you know, human psyche, as even in the question is written. It gives you a chance to be your own therapist, to pretty much learn about the world, learn about what makes us humans, what makes us do what we do, why are we the way we are. And I think that's what really brings me joy, is that exploration of the self.
Vas, thank you. That is a very enlightening answer. I thank you for that. Elizabeth Olivia says, welcome to the ARC fan group. And folks, on the crawl at the bottom, we're welcoming all of the fan groups. So if we don't give them a shout out right away, we will. Just bear with, I guess we'll do it right now. The ARC fan group, the ARC series fan group, and I believe we also have a third one. Marsha, who are they?
That's the Outpost and the ARC.
Thank you. You'll see them over at the bottom. Elizabeth's directing that one to Michael. And of course, we had the one from Frank. And Susie just arrived a bit late. Says, hi, I'm here. My word, what happened to your hand surgery? I know. We led off with that. Maybe you can just enlighten her as she came over.
No surgery. I just broke my fist playing soccer. It's all good. I just
Which is which is kind of interesting. Soccer broke the wrist.
There you go.
It does happen though. For those of us that are athletic,
Yeah,
we actually get that.
it's a bit absurd, but it's good. No surgery yet. I hope no need for surgery. I actually have a exam tomorrow, so we'll know more. But I feel good, so I think it's gonna be fine.
So we will be having good thoughts. We'll be offering our prayers as well, and we hope it goes well tomorrow. That you get good news.
Thank you.
So I
Yes.
want to head on over to Michael, and then we'll go on to Marcia, and we'll be going around the horn, as they say in the baseball world.
Well, I guess that's exciting.
It
Boss.
is in baseball.
Well, it is exciting. Yes, we. I'm not going there. Yeah. Okay, boss. I am so glad that you said yes to my invite. So, besides that, what was when you as you said, I think you said a little earlier, it was you couldn't believe they said you got the part. When you got on set, what was it like? What was your experience? And is it what you expected or nothing like you expected?
Honestly, it was. I felt like a little child in an amusement park. First of all, like you come there in a studio. I've never I lived in LA and I was on Warner Brothers Studios. I was an extra on like a TV show, so I kind of got to see how that looks like. But it wasn't like this. I didn't go inside. I didn't, I wasn't a part of the show as an actor. And here it was incredible. I mean, I literally felt like I arrived on a spaceship. You come on the set. The set is literally a spaceship. I got my own trailer, which was like, wow, this really exists. It's like that. Wow. I had my name, and the character of my name on the trailer. I had it was just incredible. My costume was hung up. I had a little note. I had sides. It was a dream come true. And then coming on the set, you kind of get freaked out. I mean, I kind of got freaked out. It was my second role in my career, first and foremost. And it was the first time that I just, entered a stage like that where there is I don't want to exaggerate, but it felt like 500 people, on the set doing all their work. It's like a huge machine, and you're becoming a part of it, and it really felt incredible.
Wow.
So you wouldn't trade that for anything, would you?
No. Yeah.
Roger, let's go back to you.
As a matter of fact, I want to give several shout outs. I don't know if I did mention it, but we already have several likes from Elizabeth Olivia Cooper, Frank Madrid, Sonia Robles, and Susie Bonebreak. Thank you. And I want to head on over to Marcia.
Okay, thank you. Well, have you been able to see some of the previous episodes of the Ark before you took on the role?
Yes, I watched the entire first season, and I actually watched the whole season before having to send in that tape so I can know what kind of style, what kind of genre it is. I wanted to know the story and I wanted to know what's going on. So I did watch the show before I actually become a part of it. But I must admit that I'm a bit ashamed, but I'm gonna voice that right now. I did not watch anything of the second season.
Oh, well, okay.
So I don't even know
Okay.
how I did. I didn't even watch the episode. I still have this fear of watching myself. I saw some videos because it was like posted on social media, and some of my friends sent it to me, and I just get so self-conscious and I get so embarrassed. So I still didn't have the courage to actually watch the entire episode. It's still, I'm postponing it every day. But actually, I need to.
You're kind of working up to it.
Yeah, I need to. I want to sit down and watch. As a viewer of the show, I want to sit down and watch from the first episode until the end. So
Until your demise.
yeah.
So, what were you told about the role of Bojan? What did they tell you about him?
I had this brief. I had a brief description of the character, and I had the text, and I kind of had to fill in the blanks. I mean, I knew that he was estranged on a spaceship. We didn't really know how long was he there all alone in that museum of death. I didn't know time-wise, how long has he been there, or how long has he had this idea that he has a wife, that he's got friends. When did he do that? But I knew that he went kind of on a mission of finding his sister, and along the way, it happened what it happened, and that he stayed estranged alone with all of those people. So and also they hinted that he is losing his mind in a way, that he kind of a mixed perception of what's real and what's not. So I kind of had, I kind of knew the direction I can take my imagination to.
Marcia, are you still there?
I
Oh,
yeah,
hi,
my
Marcia.
I had a glitch there. I had a
I'm so
glitch there
sorry.
for a second, a computer glitch. But yeah,
We're not
the
Hollywood.
Museum of Death, just the Museum of Death, just the title just it gave me goosebumps. And your portrayal, you haven't seen it yet, but you're in for a treat because it was amazing. Thank you for that. I'll go back to Roger. I've got more, but I'll go back to Roger.
Susie
Thank you.
says, I must admit you played psychotic very well, which was really good.
Thank you,
She did
Susie.
comment earlier, so it's a cast. Now, Elizabeth did follow up with another question. Must agree with you on your choice of best places in Los Angeles to get a cold drink, snow cones. Good times at Davy Wayne's is amazing. Two of my favorites are in the Thunderbird and the Great Gazoo. With the very high temperature we've had, I'm craving one now. You see what I mean, Vaz? They know.
I loved going out at Davy Wayne's. That was my favorite bar in LA. I don't know how she knew.
She's traveled a
He
little
finds
bit.
out.
Yes. Now, I want to ask before I go on over to Jag. You mentioned that you came over as an exchange student, and this is a two-part question.
Yep.
When you realized you were coming over as an exchange student, what was your first reaction? And then when you arrived in Texas, maybe a few weeks in, what was your reaction then? Because I've got to believe it was like, awesome. And then, who did I piss off? Just kidding. Because of the weather.
I swear to God, you got it spot on. That's it. That's it. I was, first of all, I have to explain to you guys. While living in a third world country, living in a country like Montenegro, very far away from US, having no idea, no references, no people in the United States, no family, nothing. Everything we base on our perception of US is through movies and through TV, right? So the idea that I'm going to Dallas, first of all, they tell you you're going to Dallas. They don't tell you you're going to Midlothian, Texas, which is like southeast of Dallas, 20 minutes of Dallas. Has nothing to do with Dallas, So you go on Google and you see Dallas, and you see the downtown, and you see, wow, I'm going to the movie, like it's like in the movies. And they make sure the agency tells you, like, FYI, it's nothing like in the movies. So just so you know.
So you didn't see JR then? No
yeah,
JR.
okay. Yeah. And exactly, like I land at DFW, and I'm going home with the family and the people who like collected me at the airport, and I'm like, it's just like McDonald's. Like I don't even know how to explain, like just flat countryside, McDonald's, IHOPes, Whataburgers, no buildings, no museums, no galleries, no rivers, no bridges, just like a highway straight to home. And I'm like, was this a mistake? Am I
That was minutes upon arriving.
am I at a correct place? What is this? What's going on? But all jokes aside, I swear to God, like living there is one of the best things, if not the best thing that ever happened to me. I lived on a huge ranch with an ex-military, like a colonel from U.S. Army, who hosted exchange students for more than 30 years, and I was his last student. He was already 85 at the time.
Oh,
He
wow.
went like 3 wars. So just him in itself was a trip, just being, hosted by that person. And we had like 40 acres. We had like a private lake, and I'm really, I'm coming from a very humble family in a very humble condition. So when I went there, and I just had like a whole ranch for myself and like 2 pickup trucks, and I was underage. In Europe you need to be 18 to get your license. I started driving there at 16, and then I thought, well, you know what, that person from the agency who told me it's nothing like in the movies, she's wrong. I felt like I'm in a movie every day, being in Texas, seeing cowboys, meeting people with cowboy hats, with boots, seeing people on horses, and our next door neighbor had a lot of horses. He would ride horses all the time. It was like fascinating, So after all, I went there for a year, and then I stayed 8 years in America. So it tells you that, I really ended up loving US and loving
That's
my
absolutely
country.
wonderful to hear, and it's we don't get that a lot, and that's absolutely awesome. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go over some other comments in a little bit. I want to go back on a Jag. I want to keep it moving, but Vaz, it's very enlightening, and I appreciate your stories. That was even funny. I envisioned that road
Yeah.
what you were on, because I've been in those areas, dude. You're a storyteller.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jag.
So before we begin with what I was going to ask, I'm curious, what did you think of Whataburger?
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow. Wow.
Right? That's why they call it Whataburger.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was just
We
curious.
here don't have I think McDonald's when I was a child here in Montenegro, we had McDonald's for 1 year. It was like kind of like a tryout for the franchise to
Right.
come here. And I think I heard stories, I heard rumors, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the market of Montenegro was not really sustainable for them, a country of 600,000 people.
Right.
So here we don't have like franchises. We have our own burgers, we have our own, cevapi, pleskavica. I don't know if you guys have learned these references by now because you have so many Serbian actors on your show.
They just talked about the ice cream.
Yeah. and that was kind of like a first American burger that I tried, and I flipped. And then Chicken Express. And like I really, later when I moved to LA, I realized, okay, maybe that's a bit, maybe it's not that really healthy. So I kind of,
No.
but it's my guilty pleasure. And I swear, as soon as I come back to Texas, I wanna go eat there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what everybody says when they leave. When they come back, they want to get a Whataburger immediately.
Yeah.
All right. So before I begin, I want to start off with whoever's doing the casting on the Ark this season and basically all the seasons. It's kicking absolute butt. And here's why. Because now I'm going to do a little fan thinking for you. One of the reasons you're on this show is I immediately called Michael. And I said, dude, we need to get Bojan on the show now.
And what did I tell you?
And you said you were already working on it. Because he already knows me. He already knows me. Because when I see talent, I get on the phone, on the messenger, on the phone real quick, and I said, we need to get him. All right. You haven't seen the episode, and I understand that. And you're delaying it for your reasons. That's fine. But your performance was incredible.
Thank you.
Was amazing. Okay. We saw the premise of the episode, which is Museum of Death. That we all kind of I almost called it the Halloween episode because it's kind of like the whole morgue and dead bodies all around and everything, creepy and everything else. But the writers are doing something incredible this season, which is bringing to light some of the underlying humanity things, which we talked earlier and we touched on, which was the psyche and the mental health.
Yeah.
My question to you, because you did this incredible job, you really just knocked it out of the park. Where did you get your references to play Boyan? Because you played him to a T. And I'm just wondering, as an actor, what references or what topics or where did you go to pick up that kind of psyche?
First of all, thank you very much. You made me blush here.
I didn't mean to.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It really means the world. That's like the biggest compliment an actor can get. I mean, I worked with, I must say, I worked with two of my teachers from LA. I was so happy to like contact them to tell them I got my first gig, you know, so they were excited about it. And I mean, it's really weird, not weird, but kind of like impossible for me to talk. How did I, you know, I took all of the information that I had and I kind of had to let my imagination fly. I think I played with this idea of an abandoned child. I think you know, Eva leaving him there, I kind of envisioned that they had some issues with their parents, that, you know, he was really connected to Eva, like kind of like to her, to a mother, you know, and she leaving him was something I was feeding off, and I was envisioning this child need that he has for a family, for belonging somewhere. So far crazy that he would go on a mission in space to find his sister, even if that's going to cost him his life. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy shows, a lot of crazy movies. So, I mean, not that I try to imitate any crazy performance of some famous actor, but, you know, I there's certain things that you implement in yourself, in your heart, and you kind of become that person when you're working alone in a dark space, like I do. In this sense, it was in my home. So I just had these archetypes that I was feeding off. I had the shadow, like a Jungian version of a shadow that I worked from. I worked with these words. I like to pick a word for a character that kind of feeds me of, you know, not to bore you guys with acting exercises, but like, you know, pick a word and then what color would Bojan be? What sound would he be? What instrument? What piece of clothing? What kind of dessert? What, you know, there's a list of answers, questions that I like to answer to myself, which would push me in a direction that it pushed me. And then the hardest part of all that is you have to let all that go when you come and do it, because you actually need to be present and need to feed off of your partners, other actors. And I had really amazing co-stars. I mean, I was in awe with how amazing everybody was. Christy, you know, Eva. Mm-hmm. I mean, not to, everybody, Richard. Everybody was so freaking awesome, and it was really easy to work with them. And I kind of played off whatever they were giving.
And it was interesting that we recently had India Sage Wilson as the writer for that episode, and we were talking a little bit about the Bojan character. And I happened to do a little research on Bojan. Okay. The name actually means fighting and struggle.
Yes, exactly.
Which freaked me out that they kind of, that's how they name sometimes the characters.
Yeah, they were really good about that.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that, so thank you. Yeah.
No. And so the other thing I would want to ask you was, there was something during the production, and it doesn't have to be anything you can remember if you can, because I know you haven't seen the episode, that kind of surprised you in doing the role? Like how many takes it took, or was it something like, you know, wow, you know, I'm actually on this set and there's a green screen or something? Was there something that you looked and kind of surprised you like that?
Yeah. So first day of shooting, I had to shoot the most emotional scene, the ending scene with Eva, where we scream at each other. Yeah. And they had me, and I can't remember, were they like running behind, or it was kind of like, okay, we have an hour, we have to do this in an hour, otherwise we're going in overtime. And I remember they came to get me in my trailer, and again, I've never worked in front of a green screen. I mean, we do these things at an acting school, you work like that, but on a real production where you're paid to do your job and to deliver. So I was kind of trying to stay calm, but then I get there, and you need to do such an emotional scene with a partner who's not in front of you, who is somewhere there and is just throwing you a line, because you have to have an eye line, that aligns with the camera and stuff. There was I don't know the word in English, but it's like a fake horse, like a thing, like a seat that you sit down, and there's like 4 people who are moving me underneath me. They're carrying me to emulate the space thing, and the camera is like right in my face like this. And then my partner is over there, and we have an hour, and it's like, come on. And it was like, whoa. And I felt afterwards, I was so afraid that I screwed something up. I was so afraid that I did terribly. But I knew I can't go into depressed mode until I finish the job completely. But I was like, that was kind of like, wow, how are these? I felt like whoever does this thing, it's heads down. This is really, it's not as easy. I know that acting is really not the hardest job in the world. There's much more worse and harder professions. But when I was doing that, I felt like, Jesus Christ, this is far from easy. So that was kind of like, there were things like that where I was so surprised of like, oh, so this is how it's done. This is how it works. For example, I know that there is a scene where I'm coming out and I'm flying in space, and this whole exchange, there was nothing of that when you do it. So I'm really eager to find out how is that put together, because as you say, you're in front of a huge screen, and these people are like moving you, and you need to like be present and be connected to your partner, and be, let everything that's coming out come out, and not start overthinking, but you're thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna fall, I can't balance myself. It was really a trip. So that was something that really surprised me. It's like, it's really challenging to deliver under those circumstances.
Well, I'm going to take it back to Roger real quick, but just to let you know, I know you haven't seen it. I hope you do get a chance to see it, because you knocked that performance again. I'm sorry, going to make you blush, out of the park. Okay. All right, Roger, back to you.
Okay, there's not much I can say to top that, but Vas, let's put it this way. We're talking with you, okay?
Yeah.
We were introduced to you because of that. So just take that for what it is. Yeah. And everyone else in the chat room is firing off questions, and we'll get to that in a bit. But that's all I want to say on that. As a matter of fact, Arc 54, since you watched the show, you learned a bit about Ava. Did you use that knowledge to? Oh yeah, I guess we did. Okay,
yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I apologize, but I want to get every comment. So yeah, we did get that one. Sometimes she's ahead of the game, man. She's asking the questions and then they get answered.
Yeah.
It's not like she might be on the secret, on this side or anything. But if you're ever in the Austin area, go to Dripping Springs, not far from Austin, and try out the Family Business Microbrewery. Amazing beers and killer food. And no, Vas, we are not shills for them. We don't know who they are. Yeah. but that is kind of cool.
I must say, whoever is watching, my tip for Austin, Franklin Barbecue, the best. I mean, even to this day, it was like 7-8 years ago that I had that, because you have to wait in line, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole experience. And usually when they tell you like, oh, you got to go to this place, it's the best in the world. It's like you come there and it really isn't. this was
Right.
really hyped by so many people for me, and I went and I stayed in line, and it felt like eternity, but it was the best meal I've ever had in my life, and even to this day, like I have my mouth is getting
You're
watery.
drooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're drooling. Yeah.
So that's my tip for Austin, Texas. Go to Franklin's
Great.
Barbecue.
Wow, that
Great.
sounds great. I'm gonna have to ask you about some of the Los Angeles stuff because I didn't
Yeah.
realize you'd been out here in LA.
Yeah.
But in LA, folks, you have the mom and pops, you have, brand names and stuff, but you have the ones that are serving healthy food and then comfort food, right, Boz? I think
Yes.
there's really no in between, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is a lot of comfort food in
There
LA.
is a lot of yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
but,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but we can drool about that in a moment. Marcia, if you are ready to go, I want to hand it on off to you. Marcia may be having technical difficulties.
Sure.
there she
Kind of
is.
Okay.
tagging on your experience of especially the ending part where you're in the spacesuit. How was that? Were you were being in the spacesuit? That's
Yeah, it was interesting. It was trippy, seeing yourself in a spacesuit.
Mhm.
Suit, like wow. But
was it
it was
was
it
it
wasn't
restrictive or? Mhm.
it wasn't that it wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't that uncomfortable as maybe it looks like.
Hmm.
I'm a person who sweats a lot, and that was the biggest issue for me because I would sweat in that what do you call it, in the helmet, and then they would have
Yeah.
to come between each take off the helmet, wipe the fog that gets created. So that was kind of like not annoying, but it was like okay, but it was okay. It was like wow, I'm an astronaut. It was like I felt like a little kid. Yeah.
Yes, Marcia must be delayed.
Yeah, I think we're having connectivity issues.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead then, Roger?
Yeah, and I do apologize. Marcia, if you are getting this, we're just going to ask you to reset. You'll probably have to exit, maybe restart your computer. We are
Mhm.
having connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, give that a shot, Marcia. It
Yeah.
must be
Can you hear
so
me?
hot where you are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
I'll
don't you
be
go ahead and
back.
give it a yeah, thank you,
Okay.
Marcia. Yes, the reason why I'm agitated, as Voz knows, it's 102 here in Southern California, and everyone's having great weather right now, which is absolutely awesome. So yes, I'm unhappy about that. But Michael, go
Yes.
for it.
Okay. This has something to do with what you had to endure on set. We had someone on, and my question to them was, were those mannequins or were those really people that were just not
Oh,
moving? And they said it was people not moving. How was it like not moving when you were trying to play dead? And you had all these other people around you that were dead. And I mean, I did not, and I looked, I've seen the episode several times. I did not see anybody move at
Yeah.
all. And I just thought, I can't stand still at all.
That's pretty impressive, because I remember that was kind of coming back to one of your last questions. It's like that was one of the shots that it took kind of a while to. I remember the shot where Christy is coming down with the light down the steps right before she finds me. That was kind of challenging to shoot, because again there was like how many alive people playing dead.
There was a lot. There was a
Yeah,
lot.
there was really a lot, and I had to stand still, but I couldn't help myself, so I would like open my eyes to see what's happening when I know that the camera is not on me, because I was also fascinated by the fact of like, how are these people gonna stay still for so long,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was again, it was super interesting, and I had the luck that I was the last piece of that shot, so I could kind of like rearrange myself because I also struggle with being still, for a long time. So I had that luxury of like, okay, I can move a little bit more. Like readjust. So yeah, it was fun.
I was wondering because, as I said, I have tried to stand still at certain things, and I can't do it. I can't do it at all. So more power to you that you could even do whatever, because that is
maybe meditation. Some meditation exercises could help that.
I wish it could, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, especially since I've gotten older now, it's even worse. So
yeah,
it's like, oh well. But who would you say, while you were on set, who did you hang out with the most? Or were there several people that you hung out with, maybe went out? Because you were probably there for, at least 5-6 days on shoot?
Yeah, it was very, very tricky about, I even started fearing that my episode won't happen because the strike.
Right.
But it was like it was like the last week before production stops. So I ended up, in the first time when I heard about that I got the part, I don't know, was it the mistake on the production side or my agency side, but I got the information that I'm gonna work for 7 days, for like a week. But it ended up being 3 days, so it wasn't really.
Wow.
It was really like swift. But I hung out with Richard and Christy and Tiana, of course, and Pavle. I mean, the people I had the scenes with.
Right.
So you're kind of like, you're there with each other. And I had, most scenes I had was with Eva, with Tiana.
Right,
so I hung out with her mostly. And we did have a rehearsal before coming into work, where we met Sandra, the director of the episode, and Tiana, and I don't remember was anybody else with us. I think it was the three of us who had a rehearsal, and that was so good because I got the chance to meet both of them, and I got a chance to like talk with Tiana and meet Tiana, and she could tell me a lot more about Eva and what she thinks our dynamic is, and that's really it's not really a thing that happens a lot, as far as I understand, in Hollywood, that actually time is money, and usually you come to set and you need to play husband and wife of 20 years and you are just meeting each other. In Serbia, because the environment is a bit more smaller and there's much more, I would say, it's not as progressive as in Hollywood. You kind of have time to hit up your partner and she's 10 minutes away from you. Let's grab a coffee and let's talk about it. And Hollywood, that's not really the case. So I was surprised. Another thing I was surprised about the experience is, amazing. I have a chance to meet the director. I have a chance to meet my partner. Yes. I have a chance to talk and raise questions and get answers to anything that I wanted to know before going in. And that really, really helped a lot.
I bet it did. On that note, I will hand it back over to Roger.
As a matter of fact, you commented a moment ago when you said you don't want to bore us with details. Vas, you're here. If you want to talk about how you go about stuff, we'll never, ever know. You could never bore us. And I please don't ever say that. We're here. We're very much interested, and you're so kind in giving your time. And folks, because we've been moving fast, it has been, fire off your comments and questions. We are running low on time. I'm not trying to threaten the audience, but
But we are.
Yeah, we are flat out. For the stunt in space where you were smashed by debris, I know most green screen, but was the tumble wire working? Did you or a stuntman do it?
I actually I must say, and I apologize, I don't remember. I remember doing. I had stunts. I mean, I had a stuntman, and I had. I remember like when I was teased in that scene with Eva when they teased me. That was my stunt. Then when I go crazy in the hospital, but with the space thing, I think the actual thing is either a stuntman or CGI. Because as far as I remember, I don't remember. I don't have it in my. I don't remember that I had to fall off that horse.
Or did you block it out of your mind?
You beat me to it, Michael.
I try.
Maybe I blocked it out of my mind.
I mean, you did tell us you did survive by being here, so maybe, pardon the pun, the block was blocked out.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. But folks, don't forget, fire off your comments, and we'll go on back to Marcia, see how she's doing.
Yeah, I'm here. Yay!
No, you're back. Welcome back.
I am curious. That episode again is sort of a horror theme to me, at least. Do you like horror as a genre for you to relax and watch, or what do you like to watch?
Some people do.
I must say I'm very like divided. Like I don't like on my own. I'm not gonna go alone and to a cinema and watch a horror movie, or I'm not gonna sit alone right now and play a horror movie. But a lot of my friends are into it. My wife is into it, so I kind of go along, and I love watching them. I know people like freak out when I tell them that my favorite horror is like The Shining, or some of the older, because now the horror movies are kind of going really, really crazy. So I do watch it, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favorite genre of TV.
So what might be one of your more favorite genres to watch and make you smile like that? You have a beautiful smile. Yeah.
I mean, I love comedy. I really love comedy, which maybe, wouldn't come off immediately, because I remember in at Stella Adler in LA, everybody would think that I want to be this dramatic actor, and they would give me this serious roles and stuff, and I'll be like always bummed out, like, but I wanna be the fool, but maybe I don't come off as that on the first impression. But I love comedy, and I love drama. What I love lately in the last few years, this new genre of like dramedies, like these short mixture of drama and comedy, like Ted Lasso, like Barry, or these shows that have all of that in it. Atlanta, for example, is one of my favorite shows. So that's my jam. I would say if I had to pick one, it would be like a drama.
And you have talked a lot about living in Texas for a while. So have you thought about maybe doing a Western?
That would be good point. That would be like one of the childish dreams, to get on a horse and put the cowboy hat. Like I just finished watching Yellowstone with Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah.
And all I want to do now is move to Montana and become a cowboy. That's all I want to do. It's like really. So all jokes aside, like a Western would be amazing. It's just I hope some director, one out there, will get over the fact that I'm not American and that I have an accent, and that it's fine to be a cowboy like that. It doesn't have to be a person from Texas, So I hope someday I'll get a chance to be in a Western. That would be amazing.
Super cool. We're going to be cheering for you and watching.
I think somebody in Serbia was shooting a Western a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah?
I think. And I'm trying to remember if that was the genre. A guest we've had on here before, and he wrote that he was producing a movie, and I thought it was Jag. Do you remember? Was that You don't remember? Because I thought it was. It might not be. I might be totally off the wall.
You're off the wall.
I'm off the wall. Well, I know you think I'm off the wall anyway.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
thank
but
you. Back to you,
I'll find
Roger.
out and I'll let you know because
All kidding aside, it's frustrating when you remember a thing and you just can't place it, and we'll be finished, and it's like, oh, that happens. so
Exactly.
often.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
always
the thing.
like that. It's always like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want to embarrass you in the last few minutes, young man. What type of phone do you have? An iPhone or an Android?
I have an iPhone.
Ooh,
All right.
Yes. Well, all right. So if we look
Okay,
up
we're gonna-
your iPhone. Okay, here we go.
I was going to say real quick, we're going to go ahead and allow you in Texas still, but
Oh,
other than that,
whatever. Like you need a Visa Android. So, all kidding aside, on your phone, if we check out your music, what's the first bit that we hear? What's the first song that is in your iTunes?
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Let me
Real time.
Let me tell you immediately.
This is cool. This is neat. We learn a great deal.
But you know, my music taste is kind of like that meme from Beethoven to Biggie. You know.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's
Okay.
good.
My last 3 songs is "Linger" by Royal Otis, "Little Homies" by Tupac. And
Yeah.
then Aloja Vera, it's like a Serbian rap song, Mikri Mouse. It's like actually a friend of mine who's a very famous rapper in Serbia. That's like my 3 last. I don't know.
That is
So
cool.
there you
I
go.
appreciate that.
You're eclectic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, no doubt about it. You're right about that meme going all the way over.
Yeah.
So when you were in LA, without being overtly dumb about it, you spent a little bit of time in LA. What do you miss from LA? Because even from a few years ago, so much has been added, so much has been subtracted. But when you think of LA and the drool flies, I know you're a young man and you probably don't drool. But what is it? What
You'll
is
be
LA?
surprised.
Fair enough.
Honestly, Mexican food.
Okay.
Food,
Yes.
food, sunshine, incredible weather, hiking. I miss. I don't know what. I don't know why, but being in LA kind of forces you. At least it did for me. It kind of forced me to live a healthier life. You know. I remember, I mean, doing yoga, being so, it's like you're so busy. I had like classes from like 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., but I wouldn't feel exhausted afterwards. Again, I felt like I was in a movie. I'm in Hollywood. Wow. I would immediately go to the gym or to a yoga class, then drive down to PC1 and hit like Malibu or Santa Monica or Venice, get on a scooter. Get on a scooter and drive a scooter from Venice to Santa Monica. Like I would just, I miss LA. I must admit, I miss a lot about it.
You grew up in Montenegro, went to Dallas, which was immense, the airport, everything. Then coming to LA, isn't it amazing? And I'm not trying to show for LA, but isn't it amazing how everything is really within 2 to 3 hours? I mean, you could be in the mountains, the desert, and I bet you did that, right? Wasn't it crazy?
Joshua Trees, Sequoia National Park.
Yes.
Like it was. It's incredible, and actually, it reminded me a lot to Montenegro. Actually, to like
Really?
the Mediterranean vibes. Like, you go, as you say, from a mountain to an ocean in a really short time, and that's something that I really love about California, though, and about Los Angeles. I honestly don't miss the traffic. I must admit, that's something that I don't miss whatsoever. But yeah, to your point, that's really one of the best traits of LA. It's like,
Young man, if we are privileged ever, if you are in Los Angeles, there are some places that are just absolute. Food is the ambassador of the world, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There are a few places. If you ever head to Texas, Jag would do the same.
Yeah.
If you ever head to the nation's capital, Michael would do the same. And I know Marsha as well. But we're not trying to force our way in. I'm just saying that we know some secret spots.
Yeah.
But Susie said, did you ever go to the beach in Southern California? I imagine
Yeah.
you did. And then 2 to 3 hours. Roger, that's just 4:05 on a 30 in the afternoon going 1 mile. Look, that may be a bit of an exaggeration, but it may be right on. Yes. So, all right, Michael, you have something for us.
Well, I just put it in private chat. I didn't want to make a big deal about it. So,
well,
answers
you're
my
on the wrong
question.
program for that.
I know, but yeah, it's. I'll just say it out loud. It's Mago. It's an upcoming Croatian Western film written and directed by Dominik Cicak. Following the film's account to get an insight on the filming process, to meet the cast and crew, see behind the scenes, and follow our journey. So, as I said, he was an actor that was on the Ark. He got killed off in episode 1.
And wasn't he with my sister?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
You are watching. Yes.
Yes.
We know you said it, but very good.
Yes. He's a good friend of us on the network. He's been on with us.
I gotta reach out to him somehow and then see if I can find my.
I think it's finished filming. Unfortunately,
they finished filming.
I think so, but I mean because I heard about it a couple of months ago, so I'm assuming it's finished. But hey, you never know, and he may do another project. So,
exactly.
And we found out he does watch from time to time. So it is really cool. He has been a friend to the network as well. But I don't want to dominate. Let's see. We have some questions in the chat room. Or comments, I'm sorry. Yes, Harris, of course. Yeah, Harris. That was so funny, Vas, when you said that. Hey, wasn't he the dude with my sister?
That's right.
That was.
You gotta be protective of your sister.
He's the one who stole my sister. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was funny. We've had a few that are in role, and that was so natural. That was cool. Jag, why don't you go ahead? And folks, we really are down to minutes. Vas, what time is it where you're at right now, young man?
It's 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. We took up your evening, but are you gonna have? You already had dinner, of course. Are you gonna have something after this? We're nosy.
I think I will. I will be a good European and have a very late dinner. 11 o'clock dinner, which kind of maybe is crazy for a person in Texas, but
Okay, I need a little bit of a good European having dinner at 11. Talk to us. What do you mean?
No, I mean, there is always that. When I lived there, people would always make fun of like, oh, we went to Europe and you guys are crazy. You eat lunch, you eat breakfast at 11, you eat lunch at 7, and then you eat dinner at midnight. And I'm like,
yeah.
So what?
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, the Mediterranean lifestyle, young man. I've learned about it. It's envious.
Have you guys ever got a chance to travel to Europe?
No, not yet.
We only do it through the program, The Ark.
Gotta come down to Montenegro and Serbia as well. You guys will love it. I officially am inviting you, all of you. You will have the time of your life.
I just need to get a passport. That's all I need to do.
Yeah.
Because I would love to. See, I've seen some of the pictures in Serbia and some of the things that it just looks amazing. It does look amazing.
You guys would really, really, really.
Well, maybe in the
thanks
future.
for the invitation.
Yeah, we may. Who knows? In the future, you never know. We might be able to take you up on that, but we won't. we would just go and visit. If we had the chance to meet you in person, that would be beautiful. Jag, why don't you go ahead and finish us off? We are over on the hour. We cannot take more of your time, Vas. But go ahead, Jag.
I'll make it real quick. Did you ever in Texas get to go to the beaches? Just curious. Did you go to South Padre?
Yeah, I went down to Galveston.
Okay.
Once or twice. I remember eating at Bubba
Shrimp.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of minor things, and then a final question, and then thank you for your time. So number one, was that really you whistling in the episode?
I was whistling. And then I remember somebody somebody came to me and told me, don't you know that that's like a Serbian nationalist tune? And I was like, what? No, I didn't. What? No, what was I? No, that's not like a lullaby. Think of something else. And I think it was like a somebody, like not a director or anybody like that, but like somebody who held a crane or something. And I was like,
Right.
oh really? Okay. And then I changed the tune to something else. And then later, after we finished filming, I found out that that might not even be in the
Be
episode.
yours.
They might even put something that they like. So I don't know what they did end up using. But I did whistle before they found.
Well, it was creepy, and I would wanted to thank you. That say that was really nice little touch. Yeah, that was. So I also noticed in the character you had long hair, and I see you now, which kind of freaking me out that you have short hair. Which
Yeah.
which do you prefer most? I mean, and just curious.
Honestly, life has been so much better with short hair. Like, especially because we have heat here. We go up to 120 in Montenegro, which is kind of like Texas, and humid, or kind of like Phoenix, because humidity here is it's so high. So literally 1 minute trip from me, from I'm on the first floor in a building. 1 minute trip to the car, I'm dripping sweat.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's much better. But then, honestly, when I saw some pictures from the Ark, I was like, ugh, I gotta grow my hair back.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing it now. I'm not gonna cut it anymore. So maybe next time we see each other, I'll have a ponytail again.
Oh, thank you, Vaz. Thank you. We heard that. Sorry.
We
We're
want you to come back.
Yeah, we got that.
We're very
We're
clingy.
clingy people.
Yeah.
And finally,
Well, we're
we
good
asked.
people.
Yeah. We finally asked this to most everybody, actually everybody, if we remember. And so I know that Boyan's number would be 3. So let me explain what I'm about to ask you. I was going to ask you, what's your favorite arc number if you had an opportunity to have an arc? All right. And I know Boyan would like 3 because that's where his family is,
Exactly.
and, and his wife and everything.
Yeah.
If we were to give you, or maybe if Boyan came back in another lifetime, if you were to give opportunity to have an arc, what number would it be? And I'll give you another reference. Some people have said 80, we mentioned 86 because that's what happens when you kill somebody, you 86 them if that character is mean or evil.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to think themselves as royalty, so they'll say arc 1 because they're number 1, right? Other people have mentioned their favorite football player number, which would be 8 or, something like that. We recently had somebody from the Pable, which was a security. He wanted 42, referencing the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So just to give you an idea, what number would you pick for your arc number?
That's really an interesting question. And going back to what Roger said, I'm going to say something now, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to be like, I should have said that. I honestly think that even if he comes back and his sense comes back, I still think he would want to have the arc 3. Even if it's like, okay, you're now back at arc 1, you're with us, you are in the ensemble now, you're with our group and stuff. I still think that he would give respect to Millie and to his friends and keep the number 3.
Spoken like a true professional actor. That's all I got.
Look, I want to thank my co-hosts, Marcia, Jag, and Michael, everyone in the chat room. I did find this funny, where NDB Media broadcasting from Serbia live, if only, and Montenegro. But all kidding aside, young man, we are humbled that you came over to spend the time with us, especially on a Sunday night. Your time is precious. And we have learned, I think this is more of a comment, that we are blown away by all of you. That it's not a job. It's what's going on. You're ready for us, but it's not that you prep. It's you. This is what you do, and it's really refreshing. In Los Angeles, people see it as a job, as a thing to do, and then they move on. And everyone that we have met, we've had the privilege. You know what you're doing. you know what happened and you know the universe. Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's professionalism on a level that no one in LA has, which is impressive. We would ever so look forward to being able to speak to you again on any project, anything that you want us to humbly help you on. We would, to get word out on anything. But Vaz, this has been awesome, man.
Guys, I really appreciate you guys. It's a blessing to meet you all. You guys are phenomenal, and I would love to come back anytime you want me to come back and talk to you. And when I'm in America, I'm gonna hit you guys up so we eventually meet in person. I really appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Thank you
As,
for inviting me.
as the final thing, folks,
Awesome.
go on over to
Thank
Instagram,
you.
follow, let them know. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, wow.
Thank you.
And I didn't mean to cut you off on that. I definitely did not mean to cut you off on that. Instagram, follow him. Let him know where you met him, and let him know it was on NDB Media. So, folks, we're just going to cut it right there. Head on over to ndbmedia.net and check out everything that's going on. We're going to be doing the review episode tonight at 6 p.m. as we do throughout the entire run. And there's quite a bit more coming on, and I don't want to take more of his time because we have. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Roger. That's Marsha. That's Jag. That's Michael. That's Vaz up there. Can you do like the symbol of power or something? Ooh. That is absolutely awesome. You're a team player, young man. All right, folks. On this wonderful Star Trek day, we are out of here.